As I near the end of the semester and the departure date for my first 3-day camping music festival, I have been reflecting on our course theorists and how their theories are employed in practice through music festival promotion videos and the festival experience itself. The two theorists I see resonating the most in this light are Louis Althusser and Stuart Hall. Their writings reflect on ideological and repressive state apparati, the interpolation of ideological subjects, and the encoding and decoding messages within audio-visual communication. Some of the ideological state apparati present are social belonging, cultural awareness and unity, notions of youthful self-expression, and participation in a counterculture tradition that has persisted since the days of Woodstock. All of these notions fully transfer into tangible behavior at music festivals. Individuals are acting upon the unique interpretations of the ideologies to which they subscribe. Embedded within the audio and visual narratives are signs of Hall's encoding in practice: the sunny weather, character persona of narrators and speakers, acrobatic and festival culture, the undeniable beauty of everyone featured in the promotion videos, and the freedom expressed in nudity. Now let's see for ourselves a glimpse of Mysteryland's promotion video for their upcoming festival.
Yesterday is history. Today is a gift. Who hasn't heard those famous words before? This was the story that started roughly 20 years ago. Welcome to Mysteryland. Mysteryland.
First, let us notice the video begins with a form of near blissful transcendence into festival culture. What is festival culture, one might ask? By those who partake, it can be described as the exact opposite of cultural homogenization. Nearly all forms of creativity, self-being, and diversity of expression are accepted and thoroughly encouraged. The video incorporates panoramic shots of the packed main stage, campgrounds, and cultural diversity. These are among the ideological state apparati that are encoded with the intent of the transparent decoding of unity and harmony, which the crowd wholly embody in their interactions. Later, the video indulges the counterculture nature of the festivals in comparison to the iconic Woodstock, as it was in 1969. The video's encodings appoint the viewer as an arbiter who carries the weight and tradition of those who came before him, and sets rather large shoes to fill. It is the viewer's job, it is my job, to carry on the tradition. Further installing the blissful aura that surrounds such festivals are simply the names of the events and the locations within the festival grounds. Festival-goer understandings of the culture shape the behavior, explaining the priority of some to, quote, rage, versus the priority of others to soak in the cultural movement. Simply in its name, Mysteryland, and the name of the campgrounds, the Holy Grounds, there are ideological state apparati embedded within the encodings. Notions of peace, love, unity, acceptance, solidarity, and of course the power of music permeate through the festival goers. Prominent acronyms like PLUR, standing for peace, love, unity, and respect, further exemplify prevailing themes of festival culture. Each individual attending the festival assigns themselves as subject of these ideologies, if only for a weekend, and embody them within their actions. Notions of youthful expression are also incredibly prominent, as once the sun goes down, the lighting productions come up, and hours of dancing ensue. These representations say, "Let's go nuts," to the would-be festival goers. As such, the qualifiers of inappropriate behavior are greatly minimized, and people quite literally go crazy for a night or three. Inclusion into the community is glorified, and we can observe large quantities of people coming to participate in the increasingly mainstream counterculture. Repressive state apparati are also quite prevalent, as campground pre-entry bag checks are required by law, just as there are checkpoints before entering the stage grounds themselves. Police are always present at such festivals, discouraging the use and sale of various drugs. Further, returning to one's car at any point is prohibited unless the individual plans to leave the festival for good. Such arrangements are made to minimize the amount of illegal elements brought into the festival. All of these ideological and repressive state apparati facilitate near-perfect transparency in the encoding and decoding process between festival goers and festival organizers. Everyone knows what they're here for, and everyone implicitly understands the bounds of festival culture. Violence is exceptionally rare, as such miscommunications and altercations simply do not occur. Further encodings within the promotion videos express circus-style entertainment and production. In many ways, they're saying it doesn't matter how weird you are, we've got you covered. It's all okay here. Depictions of attractive people within the video are encoded with the intent to be decoded as a support for the grander beauty of the event and culture. One point in which I find particular comfort, and dare I say hope in, is a synthesis of Hall's dominant and oppositional code. As production begins with the institutional structures and their practices, subject to meanings and ideas, knowledge, and assumptions ordinarily framed within professionalist architecture, this is where some of the first instances of oppositionalist code exerting dominance over professional code takes place. The base productions themselves are planted in oppositionalist soil, and so any decoding by festival goers is initially framed within opposition. As I previously stated, music festivals, like Mysteryland, find their basis of their identity within their counterculturalist ways. These are environments where separate groups operating within the oppositional code come together, and for a weekend create a society of scale where the oppositional code is dominant code. Within these environments, oppositional rhetoric and beliefs are shared and cultivated, and leave the festival carried by individuals who assign themselves subjects of their new experiences and ideologies. This is how a movement gains momentum. Outside of the festival, oppositional dialogue is circulated and recirculated in a series of determinate moments, be them in the form of an aftermovie, memes, blogs, or any form of communication regarding the aspects of a growing counterculture. Althusser and Hall's theories are intertwined with basic communication and information reception. Depending on this reception, the behavior and actions of individuals vary, and as each individual receives their environment differently, their behavior differs as well. The ideological apparati employed in festival culture project acceptance of the uniqueness of all its cultural members. This explicit freedom is what allows each person to express themselves as uniquely as they wish, and is the beauty of this musical counterculture. An important note to be made is that in most cases, the ideological state apparati at work here do not operate by disciplinary methods, rather by positive encouragement and reinforcement. Much of this reinforcement and encouragement is conveyed through specific encodings on the producing end of the spectrum. In fact, this is the main reason I chose Hall and Althusser together, as their works are quite interrelated.